like specification on that. So like all the pertinent information and like story beats, they all happened for that Ashii. Just to smooth everything
I'd
out.
remind you, this is the church. Sorry, you're lagging, by the way, on our side.
You're kind of you're a little robotic, but it comes and goes pretty easily. But yeah, the Church of Ash. Oh, now it's coming in really hard.
I'm gonna wait until you come back.
Hello.
Am I back?
Kind of.
No,
you're
all
back.
Right, it might be
a
better.
little bit.
Oh,
does this work better now?
yes.
Yes.
I might just do this.
Okay, I'll have to do a few little name swapsies, but that's fine. You get the information out.
I'll tell him. So the Church of Ash, not Atarashi, is witch hunting, and if you don't let them into the town, they do this because they have enough power to bully people around, so they could get the dragon cultist. This is the Church of Ash, not Atarashi.
Understood. As far as dragon cultists are concerned, thank you for letting me know. I could give a shit. I think this is completely valid and fair to do. It's horrid, but if that's what's at stake here, then sure. Is there anything that we could actually do to help you then, friends? There is very few things as dangerous as dragon cultists.
Give me a second. And you're going to see him walk back into the woods. And there's going to be like a kind of noted pause that's going on there. Ashii, you're going to be able to see talking with a few different people that goes on there. And he's like, and then comes back out. It's like, well, for the most part, I'm going to give you a heads up that if you're not going to the, to the post to trade, you can get in fine.
So it's only on the trading. Is there anything that we can do to help you, though?
Well, we're just out here. I mean, probably better to talk to the people actually, on the front, as it were.
Oh, some of your number are already inside. All right, we will be able to meet up with them.
We're not associated with any of the people that are, holding the town down. We're just out here making sure. We're just out here doing our best.
Cool insight check on that. The guy who is just out here.
Just out here.
Doing stuff.
I was going to ask if I could insight check.
Please do.
My passive insight's 15.
Yeah, you know something's up.
I rolled a 15. I rolled a 16 actually.
Okay. I'm gonna say that your passive insight. That's not a thing, is it?
I rolled a nat 20.
Oh, you know the nat 20. Okay. So, actually, along with your like higher sort of like vision, you look this person up and down, and you see indications of professional soldier mercenary that's going on here. You are well aware that this is something that would happen regarding various sort of trade disputes where they would hire mercenaries to pose as bandits to harass specific groups that are actually going to be coming through. And you realize that you specifically aren't hitting what they've been told to harass because you're just some travelers. There's no reason to bother you with that. So now this guy who's not meant to be the person speaking is the mouthpiece and now has to try and navigate this sort of scenario with people who seemingly would be helpful for this group. So that's the position. A group that's meant to be hostile is trying to navigate how not to be hostile in this scenario.
far away is he from the wagon, actually? Like,
He would be 35 feet?
okay, so it would be easy for me to cast message without him noticing, I'm
Oh
assuming.
yeah, totally. Like you're inside the
Okay.
cart. Like
Yeah,
honestly,
I just wanted to make sure he hadn't like walked up and like I can actually relay my observations to Durst.
yeah.
Like,
The only people he's really able to see is Jesse. Emmy's technically not there, but Emmy, I would say Durst
napping on the
because
ground.
well, like because Emmy usually like is on the front, but like Emmy's
Oh,
not going to
sure.
be in proper combat, so which you might not get into. So Durst because he's actively talking with them, and Strixie, Lucy because Lucy's outside of the cart. The
Oh, is
wagon.
Glimlow.
It's right next to Lucy.
Oh wait, is Glim outside of the wagon too?
Glim wouldn't come in the wagon with me.
Okay, so Ashii is literally the only person that cannot be actively seen by this guy.
So I would cast the message again to you and give you the observation like these are professional corporate saboteurs, basically. Like anybody they don't want coming in, they're going to cause problems. We don't match traders though. So that's what they're out here for. They're here to harass other traders.
Are we done? Can we go?
Well, I mean, you've been up
I'm not
that-
talking to you. I'm talking to Doris.
I mean, we can go. I assume that the carts. We're not stopping to really talk with them for much. I think this was me yelling at them as we're going by. We're still heading into town.
Jesse would have stopped the cart after Ashii goes, "Hey yo, there's some fucking people in the trees." So yeah, Jesse's gonna be like, "Oh, you want me to keep going?"
Yes, we're heading into town.
All right.
Especially if there's reports of dragon cultist activity here, we need to be investigating this. It might be something else we can do.
Yeah. All right. So you start moving, and like, the guy kind of like crosses arms and looks. It's like, so you guys came from north, right?
Yes.
You heard any news about that brewery going down?
There was a brewery that went down.
You're gonna have to roll some fucking deception.
I say, hey, please don't make me be. Okay, well.
The idea is like, I don't know anything about that.
Emmy's not here, so.
Oh,
I cast guidance.
hey.
That's a
You
1d4
can't.
plus,
It's a touch
right?
spell. You're not near him.
She's right
I'm right
behind him.
next to him.
Yeah, she's sitting in the cart. He's the only one sitting in the
Oh,
cart.
okay.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Good, because my deception's -1.
You need to beat a 17.
Oh no.
You do
Oh
not.
no.
And he goes,
I don't need to.
Would they be aware
Yeah,
that
no.
she's there now? Because guidance isn't a silent spell.
I've been casting spells inside the cart the whole time.
Now that you're progressing, I'll at least roll like a perception check. No, he doesn't see shit. So it's like,
Yeah, no, I definitely did not convince anyone that I haven't heard about it.
yeah. So you're saying you didn't hear about that, and you come from a village I have never heard about, and you want to get
Hold
into
on,
the town?
Your,
huh?
your lack of understanding of geography is not really my problem.
I'm
friend.
just saying.
I'll step around the cart so that he can see me with all my weapons,
Yeah.
and I will repeat, "Can we go now?" And I would like to roll intimidation.
No one's stopping you. But yeah, roll it up.
Oh, why am I trying to click the stupid D&D page? It's medicine. Sorry.
No worries.
Thanks for reminding me of the touch spell.
Ooh. All right, you say that, and the guy like very like looks at you and like does a quick check like behind him back to like the woods and is like, yeah, we won't be bothering you. And like does like a quick sort of like sign out into the woods, and heads back in there. And I'm gonna say, Ashii, you see like a bunch of the people like very, they all kind of went for their weapons after Glim rolled that, but none of them drew any of them. So, he like walks back and is just like, yeah, I'm gonna say like Ashii, roll a perception check.
That 20,
You
28.
actively hear the conversation that picks up.
Why am I getting 20s now?
Because this is your neck of the woods. Like, this is. I'm imagining that Ashii has done enough reconnaissance for the Whisperway that such sort of interactions are stuff that you're just aware of. So he goes back and he goes like, listen, this isn't like a merchant caravan that's coming through or some other like easy pickings. This is not what we want to have going on here. Like, and I already fucked up at this point. Let's just let them go through. Let the other guys deal with that sort of problem. They probably just want to go straight through. No one wants to stay at a fucking post that has nothing for them. Come on. And the guy responds like, yeah, it's not worth it. There's gonna be something easier coming along. No worries. I mean, we're getting paid either way. Don't gotta stick our neck out on it. And yeah, so you travel by this this collection of like this sort of like little woods, this little wood path, unbothered, as if there weren't anyone inside of there, and you just head along. Wow. Good job. So, traveling up here, you kind of get more of a, again, that sort of like upper sort of thing, because you basically came up to, again, like a hill sort of cut out, and so you kind of, and you level off a little bit. Let me get the G map open. Boom. Can I turn this map? I cannot turn this map. Okay, cool. So yeah, you actually head up the hill, and you can hear, it doesn't take long before you can actually hear the light sound of like running water, like a little distance away, as you kind of get into more sort of marshy ground.
Oh, I forgot. I was supposed to roll that at disadvantage.
Oh, because of exhaustion.
Yes.
Okay.
Should I do that now?
You know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say that, like, because of how aggressively armed you were, it canceled out.
Evens out. Okay.
So no problem. Because also it's like, you guys actively look like you're there to take things on, and like they're not about that. So yeah, you kind of come up, and after going like kind of down a bend, there's a fork in the road, but you can very plainly see that there's some sort of like farmland over to your left, as well as a kind of tower off in the distance. That's going on there. So, and to the other side, what you actually see off a plain, like a field and whatever, is you can actually see some very old structure that's kind of like almost like broken down and sort of like sunken into the ground somewhat. That's like just kind of cresting over some trees a little ways off. So
Is that on the other side of the river? You said left.
no, that would be to your right, closer towards the other path.
The ruined down village. Okay. So the rundown.
No. I'm talking about the broken aqueduct. That's before that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You cannot see that there's even a village over on that side. All you can see,
Sure.
like, along the whole way, which, like, it dips down a little bit, is just some trees.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm actually imagining at the sort of, like, dead tree in the middle, there's actually, like, a sign that's there, and there's one that actually says, one of the signposts says to Talian's Post. The other one says it had a village name, but it's seemingly been scratched out at some point. So,
I asked Jessie if she knows anything about that.
let's see if Jesse knows anything about that, actually. Jesse, like, just looks and is like, well, it doesn't fill me with confidence.
I get that sense too. No name village. Check.
Well, I think it's even worse than that, because it had a name.
Now
Yes.
nameless village?
Now nameless village? Yeah, that doesn't feel good. In
I'm gonna try to do a history check if that's all right.
Yeah, go right ahead.
What is a now nameless village near
Yeah, I love that it's like,
Earth?
okay, so yeah,
500.
yeah,
Nat
you're looking...
20.
Wow, you guys! Okay, chill, like, I can't wait till you guys get into town and are like, I'm doing social checks, and you're just bombing every one of them.
Now,
Uh,
I
one.
was gonna bomb social checks no matter what I did.
I know, it's
Joke's
not-
on you.
It's not your job. But, you have read specifically about the history about Talian's Post and the sort of, like, region around there, because it was a military post for the longest time, and it's only, like, recently when, like, you know, you've really sort of went out of the eras of kind of, like, warfare that's sort of been sparking throughout, that things have settled down, and you know that there was a town that mainly was for logging, amongst other stuff around there, that is super small and nondescript, but would just send wood down the river to Talian's Post, and I believe, and it had the name Ruandian to it, and it was... Now I'm trying to remember, did I name that because of what it became, or... But what you have heard is that town has basically become abandoned for a while, due to sort of, like, strange circumstances. Namely, you got a lot of this sort of, like, from rumors and whatnot, from spending a little bit of time inside of the, like, amongst the sort of, like, taverns, among the Black Banner, as well as, eating in the mess hall. Just little overhearing sort of stuff that's coming out here. So it's like, you know that was
This place used to be called Roandian.
Ruendian.
Ruendian, and Ruendian was essentially has some sort of issue that
Strange circumstances.
Yeah, that travel along, like, to the point where travel seems to have been rooted around this place, if possible.
All right. It seems as though people have been traveling to avoid this place. I believe I'd heard of it. It's called Roandian.
I was a dragon cultist. That's where I'd hide out at, not at the post.
I suppose, but, well, that is what the original name was, and... Oh, wait a minute. So, wait, this is a sign of another town nearby the post?
Yes.
There's a
Okay.
map that we're looking
Yeah,
at specifically.
in the maps and geography, I put out a new map that'll show you exactly where, like,
Oh,
you're at the fork in the road at the bottom left, which in that case would be the northwest quadrant, because the whole thing's essentially flipped the wrong way.
We might want to try to see
Northeast.
what anyone in town knows, but then we might want to check out Rwandi and see what sort of disturbance is going on, especially if there are cultist activity in the area. Glimvel, Lucy, Ashii, what do you think?
I'm gonna let them talk because I don't want to step on toes.
Lucy is staring at this new Ashii to see what she decides, what she votes.
Are you guys
Alright.
both staring at me down?
Come on. Just kind of back and forth between them. And then just like crosses her arms over her chest and looks to Doris.
Well, to be honest, to remind you, the dragon cultist activity may just be an excuse to harass this town.
It is a fine and valid excuse as far as I am concerned.
Yeah, the reason is they didn't want to let a church and to take over the town. So, the town wanted to keep their independence. So the price they're paying is...
Durist.
Yes,
Because of that nat 20, I'm going to give you another little piece of information.
sure.
You know that there's a monastery that's associated with Tallien's Post.
Mm-hmm.
That is very much, not favorite. It's, that is associated with Nuan Ami. That is specifically called, and I have the information actually, the Sanctuary of the Living Tome.
God damn you. That's another name for Erfidin, isn't it?
No? No.
Oh.
Though the Church of Nuan Ami and followers of Irfan Din are usually very closely associated, due to both of them having a sort of like arcane bent to them, as well as a focus on history and noting things down.
This fork in the road. Are we elevated, looking down at the towns? Like, can we see the towns from there?
You can see
Not the...
You can see a tower off in the distance towards where Tallien's Post is. You can't see the town in particular. You can see a little bit of farmland ahead of time. That is also on the other side of the river. And the other town you can't see, but there's like a dip that allows you to see some of the forest that's out there.
And he said we could see the broken aqueduct.
You can see the broken aqueduct also.
And they said that they were preventing trade, so I assume there's no river trade or boat passage.
You would... That's a pretty safe assumption, yeah.
If there was easy access in and out of the towns, there would be a lot more options and movement for whoever is hiding inside. The less they are able to get out and around, the better. I don't know what other Durist Vault had said on the matter, but any sort of connection to these cultists and to dragons is one that we are happy with putting down, whatever the cost.
I definitely don't have any problem with hunting dragon cultists. I'm just reminding you that this may be more of a church versus church conflict than actual cultists being involved.
Who would have a problem with... The post does have a monastery to Nuan Ami, but I don't know who would have a problem with the Lady of Memory. It would make any sense.
That will definitely be
They are
a question.
They are collector of stories. Honestly, many academies have very close work with the churches here. I don't see what...
Well, we'll have to ask the town folks why they didn't want to let an
Durish.
aggressive church in.
Durish just kind of freezes at the, like, they work with a lot of academies. I don't see the reason why they would, and then just
Yeah.
trying to put some shit together here.
Scary thoughts, aren't they? Yeah. So Jesse's gonna look at that sign and be like, I think it's a whole load of bullshit that doesn't really, build a lot of confidence.
Also, technically, the trade problem isn't our problem, so.
No, it is not.
It's the first thing that you've said that I actually agree with and like.
Bonding.
See? You're finding common ground already.
Didn't say that.
Alright, let's just... You want to just go to the post, get some,
Alright.
you know, we can get the lay of the land, and then we can figure things out.
If nothing else, there is actually quite a possibility there's much we could learn from the local monastery. Most Nuan Ami monasteries have a lot of local information written down, which I would very much be interested in seeing.
Alright. Let's head. And is going to turn towards Talyan's post, which...
Yeah!
Yeah, basically. And you're gonna travel up, and there's like... You're gonna see that beside the actual, like, farmhouse and stuff like that, there are fully posted guards, that have, that are, like, full halberd and whatnot, that are, like, posted, like, across, like, yeah, they have, like, postings, across the various sort of, like, farmland, and you very quickly get to a, stop at the bridge that would allow you in. And it's gonna say, halt! What business do you have entering into Talyan's post?
Not trading. Is there anything else you have to know?
Are you bringing any specific goods into town?
Do we look like smugglers to you?
I've seen many smugglers.
This is preposterous.
Lucy will start to walk towards him and kind of point at Ashii in the cart and be like, "We can sell you a singer," and she'll keep walking to see if the dude will try to stop her from walking.
Yeah, there's various other troops that are there. This is not a single man stop. This is they fully blocked the road with a sort of like ad hoc jury rigged sort of barricade that's manned by like 4 different people that like literally pick it up and move it out of the way.
We're trying to exit Germany, aren't we?
It's not that bad, but it's this is a military stop that they have like fully militarized sort of like postings that are set up there. So if you wanted to do that, you'd have to jump the barrier and also not get snagged by multiple other people. So
Well, I'll walk up to him. I'll definitely walk up to him.
okay. Looks
And
straight in the eye and
we,
being
we
like,
can sell you. Yep. We can sell you a singer. We can sell you a singing bird.
"Are you
That's all we do.
performers?"
Just the one.
And you're saying you have no goods? Would you allow for a search of the wagon as well as your persons?
Would you allow me to search you and your men? I don't know who you are.
Do you want to spend the whole afternoon doing that?
We literally have nothing to hide. Do your search. We are not smugglers. Again, this is preposterous. We are law-abiding citizens.
Then you have nothing to worry about.
Good.
Except a giant barrel of unknown chemicals in a back of the wagon.
So, that's something you're actually going to see, that the sigil that all of these are particularly, like the badge that they have on them are of a crown beside a sort of, like, stylized road and whatnot, which, you talking about those barrels, you see that same sign on the barrel. So,
Oh, no.
they're going to look into, like, they're going to go through, and find the barrel and be like, "Sir, we found supposed goods that are meant for us."
How many of them are there?
I'm gonna say there is straight up, like, 15 to Yeah, I'm gonna say there's like 15